Welcome to the Mouse Pals podcast. I'm Andrew, and I'm here with my pal Jeff.
Hi, everybody.
This is a 30-minute show about all talk about Disney parks and properties and news. We'll bring you all the news and dive deep into some of the most interesting Disney topics. How are you doing, Jeff?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Good, good. How was your Labor Day weekend?
It was good. We thought about going to Disney, and then we canceled our reservations because we thought it'd be a little bit too crazy.
Yeah, and we'll get to that in the news, but I think you were right, and I think you had the right idea. Yeah, just as a reminder to all our listeners and all our new listeners, please rate us and subscribe to us wherever you have and listen to your podcast, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Google, whatever it is that you listen to us on. Please remember to subscribe to us and rate us, and definitely leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you like your social media.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
Exactly. Well, now it's time for the news.
All right. Let's bring our attention to Busch Gardens, some outside of Disney news. Bierfest is starting at Busch Gardens, Tampa, starting September 12th, and to run every weekend through November 15th. Find yourself there. It used to be owned by Anheuser-Busch. They used to have beer tastings. They took that away for some time, but I think they're bringing the heritage of beer making to the park.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't been there. The last time I went, my sister actually used to work at SeaWorld, and so I got into Busch Gardens and SeaWorld because they were owned by the same people and may still be owned by the same
That's
people,
correct.
just not Anheuser-Busch. And I got a really cool couple of beer tastings out of it. But have you been to Busch Gardens recently?
I think the last time I went to was to go help preview the Cobra's Curse.
Okay.
It was a little coaster, a kid-friendly coaster, which was pretty cool.
Okay, cool.
That was the extent of my trip. That was it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time, but it's a good place for roller coasters if you like them, which I do. You do
That's
not. But always a good time. And I'm interested. I'm not sure if I definitely won't be attending this year to the Beer Fest, but it's something that maybe in years in the future, if they keep it going, I'll do.
Absolutely. I think it would be pretty cool thing to go visit.
Okay. What's next?
Well, let's go back to Disney and talk about Polynesian's not going to be opening up. The Polynesian Hotel is not going to be opening up until 2021.
Yeah, that's big news.
They're going to be doing some major refurbishments. I'm not sure if the A players were there, but how do I think they do with it? However,
I don't think they were. I think when we did our thing, I think they were. We went over. Grand Floridian was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
And then I think that the others were not near, except for Grand Floridian.
Well, Grand Floridian, I think, was updated more recently than the Polynesian. Polynesian still kind of has that older feeling to it, but that's for a lot of people. I think the people like that a whole Hawaiian charm.
Yeah, they're adding some Moana stuff to it, right?
That's
At least
right.
Some part of it. Yeah.
Try to retheme it, update it. It's going to take a year or so, more than a year. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean it's probably a good idea on Disney's part. They're not operating at peak capacity. They haven't probably been taking reservations for a long time. They figured, they might as well seize the opportunity to make renovations, and probably pretty necessary renovations.
Yeah, I agree. I think they will. It's a good time to take advantage of it. And who knows, maybe they'll upgrade or expand out Trader Sam's to hold more people, because that is a small place.
Yeah, maybe they'll upgrade it. Maybe they'll make another cool little speakeasy type place.
It would be very cool.
Yeah, they're also closing down that monorail stop, right? Which makes sense if the hotel is shut down.
Correct.
I've heard some people complaining, and I haven't stayed there in a long time. Like I'm talking 20-something years when I went with my family. Yeah, I've heard people definitely saying that you're paying a little bit too much for the decor and the refurbishments or the lack of refurbishments. So I think it's good timing as well.
Yeah, I think they have actually newer hotel rooms, if you call them like that are actually on the water.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did and ended up at the Wilderness Lodge. But I don't think people are really that interested in it. Maybe I'm wrong. I think the whole entire hotel, besides those on the water suites, need to be updated.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too. They have some of those, but you know, it's a good time. Like we said, it's the best. They might as well take the time to do it since they know it'll be shut down at least for a while. That they won't be operating at peak capacity.
Yeah. Well, speaking
Okay.
of hotels, the Swan and Dolphin was coming out with a third hotel on the property. It was initially called the Cove. They came out with a new name, and it's not far off from the Swan. It's called the Swan Reserve.
Oh, okay. We know that their construction continued on it, right? We covered that maybe a couple of months ago.
That's right. Now they're full
I'm
steam ahead. Hopefully, this new hotel will be up, I think, within the next following year. I guess sometime within 2021, maybe 2022. We'll see what happens. I don't think they really gave a date set, but I think the framing's already out. Just got to work on the insides.
The pictures look good. I haven't seen any of what they think it'll be like. It looks like it has a lot of capacity, and yeah, I like the Swan and the Dolphin. They've always been bigger hotels. They're getting to the point where they're a little dated, but they're really. I mean, I like them. I always like staying in them. I think the hotels are nice, and because I think they're not a Disney resort, they are usually a little cheaper per night. I've
That's
found.
right. And if they're a Marriott group, and
Yep.
if you have a Marriott card or rewards program, that's a program that I think Disney should be implementing in their own hotels, having a rewards program. But I guess they get enough people to stay at every single
Yeah.
hotel, and I guess
Yeah.
they have a vacation club as well.
Yeah, they have that
Sure.
DVC. Yeah, definitely. If you're a Marriott, then it's key, and you just can't beat that location without
No,
being a Disney resort. And even then, that location beats a lot of Disney resort.
that's right. It's actually pretty much connected to the Epcot Hollywood
Right.
Studios area within walking distance. It's a long walk, but hey, like you said, it beats other parks that are on Disney property.
That's right. It's like half the price usually of a
Other
beach
hotel.
club or yacht club or a boardwalk, definitely.
Well, I hear you have some news for us.
I do. So we're recording right now on Labor Day, and this weekend, as we just see that capacities keeps filling up, which I guess people are becoming more comfortable. That's good for more revenue, good for cast members, means that there's more demand for them, but it's a little concerning when it comes to just the number of people out there because you don't know. You know, as we talked about, Disney's been taking steps to make it safer for everybody to be there, but as they add in more people, then there's just that risk goes up.
That's right.
And yeah, so no reservations were available. Completely, it was at capacity. It was at the capacity that Disney World set for on Saturday and Sunday of the Labor Day weekend. And also, Universal, the Universal parks, all their parks hit capacity as well. So it was a very
Yeah, I
busy
saw that.
weekend for Orlando.
Yeah, people are trying to get their last little vacations in before going back up north. But it is like you said before, it's a little concerning. However, people want to go, so can't blame them.
Yeah, people.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
a
go
lot.
every day.
Exactly, and people have their quarantine kind of fatigue going on, a lot of pent up energy.
Yeah, I don't blame them. And certainly, if you don't want to go, and I didn't want to go when it was too busy out.
Yeah,
So it was a happy medium.
yeah. And so you mentioned that you were gonna go.
Yeah, I was going to go. We're going to go to Hollywood Studios on Sunday, but we thought it would be too crowded, and it turned out to be it was too crowded. I mean, even whatever capacity they're at, I think if everyone meets the capacity, it might just be too uncomfortable for me and my family to go.
Yeah, yeah. And the pictures didn't look as bad at Disney World as they did at Universal. Universal just seems jam packed, which
Yeah, that's a little concerning.
yeah, that definitely is. But like we said, no cases that we've known of out of either Universal or Disney World yet.
They do a pretty good job. Both of them do a pretty good job with all the cleaning and
Yeah.
enforcing of the mask. But it comes down to the person.
Right.
There's
Yeah,
too many people.
Yeah.
Chances increase.
That's exactly right. Good news again for the cast members. Cast member blackouts have been lifted for most dates through September 24th. So I think that they're easing everybody back into the attendance and back in and getting more and more people into those parks.
Yeah, I wonder if the cast members actually are able to go on the weekends because they started blocking out some of the annual pass holders for many of the parks on the weekends. I guess mostly because they were full, but
yeah,
I mean, hey, we're pass holders.
Yeah, that's a good question too. I wonder if they're subject to the same weekend blackouts that we are.
something that we'll do a little more investigating about.
In that same vein, they're opening up more dining options at Disney World into the fall over the next month. Gaston's Tavern in the Magic Kingdom is opening. It actually opens on Saturday of Labor Day weekend, so a few days ago for us as we're recording this.
I think it's a nice little quick serve place. I think I had a delicious sweetened beverage of some sort, maybe iced one. I forgot. I think maybe it's LeFou's Brew. Quite tasty.
Uh-huh.
Not alcoholic though.
It definitely is. I've only been there a couple times, but it's good. Cinderella's Royal Table is opening on the 24th of September.
Are they going to have all the princesses and whatnot?
Not as of now. They're still not doing a lot of the character experiences. They're still not having them brought around at any of the restaurants and no meet and greets. So they're still keeping that away for now.
Understandable.
Yeah, exactly. On the 25th, the next day, mini seasonal dining is going to return to the Hollywood and Vine at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, good.
And on the October 8th, ABC Commissary at Hollywood Studios is opening back up, another good quick serve option. Okay, do you have any more delicious food news for us?
I do have some delicious food news for us. Going to Epcot, France's food booth is coming out, or I think maybe they already have the new dish out already. It's a new escargot dish. It's escargot and puff pastry with garlic and parsley cream sauce.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love the escargot. They have in years past done something along the lines escargot in a puff type pastry, and
that's right.
Boy, it's delicious.
Oh, it's so good. They make some of the best food in all of Epcot.
That's right. Usually I don't go back for at Food and Wine, usually don't go back or do food again at the same day in the same park. But I have gotten seconds there doing the escargot.
Yeah, I can easily eat a couple of those dishes.
Exactly. All right. Anything else?
Moving over to Germany and Epcot, staying in Epcot.
Okay.
The famous or infamous, you could say, the Mozart pumpkin spice chocolate cream liqueur is back. I'm saying infamous because it is a deliciously alcoholic liqueur, which could get you drunk pretty easily, but you get a shot of it. So
I have not had that. Where is it at the Disney Pavilion? Is it in one of the festival booths?
I think it's in the same place where they sell all the wine inside the fixed location in Germany.
Okay. Yeah, not the caramel place, the chocolate place, right? It's
correct
behind that in the corner. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy, that sounds good.
And speaking of more alcoholic news, let's go to Hollywood Studios. And a little disagreement here. Coca-Cola has a cart. They pay for that sponsorship of that cart in the Galaxy's Edge portion, which is the Star Wars land. And I guess at some point, Disney was selling Gold Squadron Lager at a Coca-Cola cart. Coca-Cola did not like that, so they had asked to remove it, and it is gone. Got to find the Golden Squadron somewhere else.
Oh, wow. Huh. I think I may have had this beer. The one time I've been to Galaxy's Edge, I think I had this beer.
You remember how it tasted?
It's just like a normal lager. I mean, nothing too crazy. I'm looking it up right now. Blue Point Brewery, which I actually don't know where that is. I don't know
if that's a New York one or up north one. I think we actually have a Blue Point toasted lager over in Epcot, which is actually pretty tasty.
And this is you're right, it is a New York brewery, and it is a subsidiary of Anheuser-Busch. So I could see why maybe Coca-Cola doesn't want that being sold on their territory.
Another InBev company over that owns Anheuser-Busch.
That's right.
Not mistaken.
That is, yeah. Well, a little turf war, I guess. I don't think Coca-Cola sells alcohol, does it? I guess.
I don't think so. Mostly non-alcoholic beverages. Could be wrong. Send us a comment.
Well, okay. Yeah, exactly. Let us know. Do you have anything else? I think, Jeff, you had a little bit of news as far as visiting Disney World aside from this weekend not being able to go, right?
Yeah, the weekend before I visited Animal Kingdom, mostly because to go on the ride of the Avatar ride, the Flight of Passage.
Sure.
I've ridden it before, but we wanted to take advantage of the low wait times they've had, and it was really about, I think they advertised maybe about a 30-minute wait time. That might have included cleaning, but we got on in about 20 minutes, and I think altogether, finishing the ride was about 30 minutes altogether. So Animal Kingdom, which is one of the few places you can actually book on the weekends if you're an annual pass holder, was pretty good as a crowd size. So
Huh.
really didn't ride much else. Everything else was about 15 minutes or less for a wait, but it was very nice. Not too many people in the park.
I bet. Yeah, that sounds. I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that wait time for Flight of Passage.
Yeah, we went on a Sunday afternoon for reference.
So tell us a little bit more about your experience. Tell us, like, was it similar to your Epcot experience? Did you feel pretty safe?
I felt pretty safe. Waiting in line for the Flight of Passage makes you go inside, but they had a lot of barriers,
Right.
plastic see-through barriers for the actual line waiting, which was pretty good. And every single step you took, there was a social distancing guideline. So it's been over a week. I haven't felt anything. Of course, you could be COVID positive and still not show any of the symptoms, but I feel fine. My family feels fine.
Good.
5 of us went. So far, so good.
Good. And yeah, I still haven't done Flight of Passage because of that. Like, I just don't like those 360-minute waits. I've always thought, well, maybe I'll wait a little while so that the crowds die down, and they just haven't done that.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to visit now if you're willing to take that risk.
That's right.
It's a risk, absolutely.
It is, yeah. That sounds good. Well, did you do anything else? Do any more rides or anything?
So the rest of the family went on Everest, which I
Okay.
decided to skip because I think I had a little bit of sweets and food in me, so I didn't want to not feel too well driving back home.
That's true. Yeah, you don't want to jostle anything around.
That's right.
Okay. Well, it sounds good. Anything else? Any other news?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, now we'll move into our deep dive. And today we're doing the top 5 cast member positions at the park. This is something we played around with our group of friends before. We've made those things like what position would you most want to do if you had the opportunity at Disney World?
Yeah, we're talking about positions as in not like executive positions, but working actually inside the park.
That's right, like cast members, actually physically being inside the park. Just which job you'd like to do the most connected to the park? Because some of mine are park adjacent, I would say.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
All right, well, why don't you go with your number 5, Jeff?
Okay, my number 5 is a Thunder Mountain ride operator. I know Disney ends up rotating people in and out, so they don't keep on doing the same thing over and over again. And that's a great idea. It's worked since day one. But I think the key position I would like to have is the person that sends you off on that little ride cart. It would be very cool. It's one of my favorite rides. I remember talking about this maybe a few podcasts ago. It's really a great little roller coaster. I would have a great time just watching and seeing their faces.
Yeah, it's good. Good to press the big red button, is how I imagine.
See ya.
Yeah, that's a good ride. I agree. Definitely one of the best rides that there is.
What's your number 5?
Yeah, my number 5 is actually to take part in as one of the Dapper Dans.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, one of the iconic barbershop quartet in the Magic Kingdom. Again, this is a fantasy thing because I never could be able to sing that well, but it's
Never
just
heard you sing.
No, well, there's a
Just
reason.
in the shower.
No, I thought that camera didn't have a microphone. But yeah, the Dapper Dans, they are like I said, iconic, and it just would be a cool experience, and I think they bring a lot of joy to people. A lot of people like to see them. They always seem to be having a fun time.
Well, we could dress up like that for Halloween. How about that?
We should do that. I call it the blue one. All right. What about you? What's your next one?
My number 4 is Jungle Cruise Skipper.
He's a good. That is one of the best.
It is. I guess it matches my punny sense of humor.
That's right.
I like
Your
to.
dad.
Yeah, that's right. I would like to drive. Yeah, that's me. Dad jokes, dad bod, just not a dad yet. So I would like to drive people around on that boat and just say some terrible jokes right down the Nile River. And of course, it's a great opportunity to be outside. Of course, covered. It's one of the cooler areas in the park. So, and I could do this for miles and miles, bro.
See, there you go. You're a natural fit for it. I can see you as that one. That one fits in, and it's like you said, it's a good funny one. It's always enjoyable to have a good skipper.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be that person.
Oh, definitely, you'd be a good skipper. Well, my next one is Indiana Jones, because why
Ooh.
not? Why not? Why
You
not
gonna do
be?
the stunt show?
Yeah, of course, of course. That'd be fun. Running around from rolling boulders and fire fake fights just seems like a good action-packed thing to go on or to
That
be.
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, seems pretty cool. And to be Indiana Jones or one of the other people, and it just seems fun.
Yeah, it would be.
Yep. Okay. Next one.
My number 3 is the Kilimanjaro Safari Guide. You know, the guy who drives the Safari? That would
That's
be
right.
the
Okay.
Safari vehicle, that is.
That's a
You know,
that's a
I
good
love
one.
animals. I don't own any animals, but I like seeing them from afar.
Hmm.
I think it'd be pretty cool. Nice little drive out in the countryside for, I don't know how long the ride takes, but it seems like it takes a nice while. So
Yeah.
seems like you have full control of the vehicle for the
Yep.
most part. I assume they have some sort of ride containment so you don't go off track. But I think it would be very cool. Maybe you have a little behind the scenes look of the park.
That's right. Yeah.
Safari
I
Guide.
think I agree. That's a cool one. You get to drive around. I think you're right. I think that it's not, I think you get good autonomy on there when you're driving. And it's, again, another one where it's going to be a good, funny kind of driver
Yeah,
presenting.
crack some jokes.
Yeah, that'd be good. That's a good pick.
Nice. So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Kylo Ren. Just going through all the best ones. Now I had to discount. It would be awful to be in it in summer Florida heat in a black costume, but just I like it when they walk around and Star Wars is in Galaxy's Edge, and he's one of the cooler ones. He's got a lot of personality. I don't know how they do it. I don't know if they're preset, responses that they just play something to the people at the park. But he's a good one. He's a good character.
Yeah, he's a cool character. It was nice. I'm not making any spoilers. You should have seen the movie already. Nice, redeemable character. Of course, he's not that redeemable when he's playing the bad guy.
That's right. All right. Your number 2.
My number 2 would be the Tower of Terror bellhop. I've always enjoyed the Twilight Zone and appreciate the theming that they did with the Tower of Terror. It's a very cool hotel. I was originally thinking, hey, Haunted Mansion, very cool. I prefer that ride way more than I like the Tower of Terror. But inside the actual tower or the hotel there, you get a little more room to walk around and maybe interact with some guests.
Mm-hmm.
Do a little scare as well.
Yeah, they do a great job of theming. Have you seen the actual episode that it came from?
I don't think it is an actual episode.
Oh, is it not?
No, I think they specifically did something for this particular ride.
Oh, interesting. I had no idea. I always assumed it was an episode I just hadn't seen. So interesting.
Well, you'll never see it.
I will never see it, and I don't particularly. Being on the ride is not my favorite ride.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of drops. I rode that ride for the first time. It was called Tower of Terror 2. It was 2 full drops. That's why I had that hate for having drops, because I was dropped twice. Not cool.
Yeah, they fake you out with those drops.
Yeah, didn't like it.
All right. Well, my number 2 is a ferry boat captain, and as I was thinking this, I was thinking the ferry boats from the Epcot to Hollywood Studios route. So I was thinking those. I'm not sure if they're really a ferry boat, some sort of boat,
Yeah.
and they drive from Epcot, Hollywood Studios. They hit up the Swan and Dolphin. They hit up the boardwalk and the yacht club. I just thought it was nice, going around driving, having full control of your vehicle. Thought it was very cool. But then I thought about the boat for Two's Magic Kingdom.
Like the paddle boat?
Yeah, those boats. And I'm going to stick with the Epcot to Hollywood Studios one. I think that's the better one. I think that's a nice drive, and it's you get a lot of autonomy. You get full control over that vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever ridden the boat from, I guess, Port Orleans down to Disney Springs?
I have not. So I've only stayed at Port Orleans one time, and it was good. We just didn't go to Disney Springs. I thought about going over there, but I think that I remember hearing the ride was pretty long, right? Like I think
Yeah,
the
oh, yeah.
ride's like
We tried
20.
meeting you, or maybe we tried to meet somebody else. Oh, I think we were trying to meet you, or maybe Mike or Alex there. We took the ferry boat, and it took like an extra 20 minutes. But otherwise it's a nice, pleasant ride.
I think that is what we were talking about, and I think I did hear it from you guys that it was a long ride, but I could
Yeah,
see, yeah, it probably was a pleasant ride. It
it
was,
was.
especially when it's like nighttime. I wonder how long they ride until. We're going to do on an upcoming podcast rankings of the resorts, and I think that's one of the reasons why I like that resort quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorites.
All right, your number one.
My number one, I mean, anything in Star Wars land. I love that place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, I'm a fan of the original Star Wars, but they did a great job with that land. Batu, Batuu, or something like that. I said I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'd be happy to work at any of the rides, like Rise of Resistance, Millennium Falcon, and even outside in Star Tours. And maybe they rotate you in and out from there. But I think it'd be even cool to work as a store attendant because you get to look at all the cool merchandise that's coming out.
It is, and obviously Kylo Ren was on there for me. It's a cool area.
Yeah, we're big Star Wars fans.
Well, my number one, and this was my number one choice when we did it in our group of friends. It's to drive the monorail.
Classic.
Yeah, I mean, the monorail's the monorail. It's really, and it has been since I've grown up, one of my favorite rides, if not my favorite ride, quote unquote. And it's just, it's a cool one. It's an air conditioned the entire time, and even though you probably don't get full control over the vehicle, you still get a lot of good times in front of in that monorail.
Yeah, probably a lot of good views too. I mean,
Yeah.
were you thinking like maybe around the lake or going to Epcot?
That's a good one. I think Epcot, because that's the longer drive,
Yeah.
and you get that nice drive into Epcot, and that before you park, you actually let people off. You get it into Epcot and around, and it's a good view.
Yeah, it's a nice ride.
Well, everybody, do you have anything else, Jeff?
No, nothing else.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure as always. Had a great time. That was a good time. And everybody listening, let us know. Let us know on Facebook, on the Mouse Pals podcast Facebook page. Let us know what your top cast member position would be.
Yeah.
We look forward to hearing from you, and we'll read them off on the next episode. And like we said earlier, please remember to rate us and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You all have a good week. Until the next time.
Take care, everybody.